What's up, guys? David Land here. Welcome to the 2017 year-end review for this channel. This is something I kind of wanted to do because I kind of want to give you guys some behind-the-scenes insight into kind of my thought process of some of the more successful videos on this channel throughout the year, and also to kind of talk you through what's coming to this channel in 2018. So, 2017 started out right at the end of January was when the channel really started to take off, where things really started getting good. And, of course, the Bandwagoners guides were a big-time factor in that. The name Bandwagoners Guide, of course, comes from the fact that during the Rolex 24, there was the big news that Jeff Gordon would be participating in the Wayne Taylor Racing Cadillac DPI, and the joke always is that everybody bandwagons the Rolex 24 anyway because it's the only race in the United States for 3 months, and even more so this year. And that's kind of where a ton of memes started to spring out of, with like Kyle Cat and Bandwagon Kid. A lot of the big things on the channel kind of came out of this video, and the success that it ended up having. It kind of reaffirmed my feelings that I can produce really high quality racing content, informative racing content, but still at the same time produce some funny or have some humor in those videos to keep kind of the normies involved long enough for everybody to get something out of it. Obviously, I did them for the Daytona 500, Indy 500, the Le Mans 24 Hours as well, and several other races throughout the year. And there were a few more that I was actually working on that didn't actually end up making it. One in particular was I really wanted to do an F1 Bandwagoners Guide. That didn't happen. I'm hoping to do it this year. I just got to get the cars drawn in time. And obviously, as I said, I'm definitely planning on doing more, hopefully for more of the big races, and just hopefully that'll end up working out the way I'm planning it. But really, the Bandwagoners Guides were a drop in the bucket compared to the impact that the Daytona Day video ended up having on this channel in terms of long-term benefits. And while the views are only at 30,000, like I said, the impact was huge. It really got my name out there. It was really the first big, successful video I had had in 2017. The Bandwagoners Guide got 10,000 views, but this, blew up by like 15, 20,000 views pretty quickly. We got that video into news headlines. I know it was like Sports Business Daily or something like that picked it up. It started the war with Reddit, NASCAR and Reddit, which ended up producing, getting my name in that circle, even though it was in a negative connotation. If you believe what promoters always say is that no publicity is bad publicity, and Daytona Day was certainly that. And it's kind of funny because the video was actually born of my anger towards NASCAR at the time. Right before that, they had just announced the stages, and I was already pretty mad at the idea of the stages. I thought it was ridiculous. And then when I saw the Daytona Day ad, I'm like, you know what? I need to fire my guns at something stupid. And so that's kind of where it kind of grew out of. I was just like, this will be an entertaining video. Obviously, a lot of people here are for NASCAR, or a lot of people are interested in NASCAR that subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I'll entertain them, and they'll be laughing at it. And boy, oh boy, did they laugh at it. And it's funny because even to this day, we just recently had that video shared by Mike Joy of Fox Sports. Obviously, you probably know who that is. And so we had a bit of a Twitter back and forth. So it's amazing. This was kind of one of the big things that helped get that rock rolling down the hill in terms of momentum for this year. Speaking of triggering people, one of the big new content series I decided to make this year was the IndyCar Red Pill. Of course, the show that pulls no punches and has no filter. And that's really, and the IndyCar Red Pill was really birthed of my quest to provide YouTube with some better racing content. I still feel like racing YouTube hasn't met its full potential that other communities have, and we really need some if you know the show Wind Tunnel that used to be on the Speed Channel, we need more of that out there. The entertaining, not quite TMZ, but you know, closer to what the old ESPN used to do for things like basketball or football, where you're entertaining, you give opinions, but hopefully well thought out opinions, and you don't kowtow to the current narratives of things. I always tried to, and obviously I'm a fairly radical racing fan, and I have big ideas of what racing is and what makes it successful and what doesn't make it successful. So I kind of craft videos like the IndyCar Red Pill, trying to provide a different perspective than what you get, like if you read only Racer magazine, or if you only read the IndyCar site, or if you only look at the updates that are provided through Twitter. You don't really get the full story, and hopefully I'm a knowledgeable enough person about racing that it will make the IndyCar Red Pill successful. I was pleased with the amount of people that were interested in it. I hope to see it expand next year. I'm hoping we can get a few more viewers in there, and I'm going to try to keep working with the format of it to get it to where I'm able to, you know, really make it, get my point across concisely, entertainingly, but still provide enough content there to be an interesting discussion. The IndyCar Red Pill is one of the things that I think I can work with a lot, because it seems like the people who like it really, really like it, and they'll stick around for whatever it is, and then it's just about getting the rest of those people invested in it. Obviously, moving swiftly on to probably my most proud, or my proudest moment in 2017, which was Indy 500 month. I always try to put 110% of my effort into Indy 500 month every year. I've been doing it really since 2013. I hadn't named it until 2014, but I always like to provide a month of coverage, kind of similar to, you know, how Indy used to be, where it seemed like, you know, people cared about the Indianapolis 500 for an entire month, rather than just, you know, maybe a week, maybe just 3 days like it seems now. And obviously that content is lacking. There just isn't that coverage that there used to be, like ESPN and Speed Channel and all these places that just either don't care or don't exist anymore to cover the Indy 500. Obviously, you know, YouTube is the great Wild West, and hopefully I've been the one to be able to help provide some of that great content that TV used to provide. It doesn't provide anymore, and I really do think that not only I was rewarded, but the channel was rewarded, and IndyCar fans were rewarded by the response that this year's Indy 500 month got. Now, obviously, a lot of that was thanks to Fernando Alonso and the attention that he was able to bring to the event, and obviously it created or allowed me to have the most viral video I've ever had on this channel, the Alonso qualifying video, which has almost 500,000 views. I would imagine that come next May, it will probably get a ton of views again, just because of the way the YouTube algorithm works. And so that video really was a huge, huge moment for my channel. I've never had a video that big before, that fast before. But it's funny, that's not really the video that I'm most proud of on the year. But the video that I was most proud of on the year, ironically, also took place in Indy 500 month, was the starting grid video. I did it last year, meaning 2016, and that video was is always my favorite to make. I've made it now 2 years in a row. I'm definitely planning on doing it from now on. And I was so proud that a video I really put a lot of effort into was able to generate that kind of response, that many people watching it, and the comment section was so very positive. I was very happy with that video, and again, the Indy 500 starting grid video was definitely my favorite video of the year, absolutely 100%. And it was also the video that I'm the most proud of because of the response it got. And then, of course, Takuma Sato won, and that just kind of capped off Indy 500 month because obviously he created a lot of attention in Japan. If you go to that video where I shot the end of the race, probably half the comments are in Japanese. So, really positive month from Indy 500 month. And that just kind of moved into the summer where I ended up going to a lot of races. We had, first of all, you know, I kind of had a month break there. June, I didn't really do anything. But on July 4th weekend, I went to my first IMSA DPI race, which was also my first time at the Watkins Glen 6 Hours. First time getting to see, like I said, the DPI cars. Really exciting to be at one of America's great endurance classics, one of the 4, obviously, that run a year. And I could check that one off my list. I've been to Petit Le Mans before, and now I've been to Watkins Glen. Now I just need to do Sebring and Daytona, and I will have been to all 4 of them. And then, obviously, that was a great fun time. And then later on in the summer, I got to go to Lime Rock Park in Connecticut, which was my first time at that track, and that was for the GT only race for IMSA. And boy, I thought that event was incredible. It was just a lot of fun. The Ford GTs were awesome to see, you know, kind of at the top class. The Porsches, and it's amazing how that's like a 1.5 mile circuit, and it was just so fast to see GT cars, you know, be the top class. It was really exciting. Obviously, IndyCar, my traditional trip to Pocono every year. I will be doing that again, so you don't have to worry about that. And of course, I did the Pocono vlog. Not a whole lot to talk about there. You know, the Pocono 500, I hope, just stays around forever because it's just that great of a race. And then, of course, almost, you know, pretty much at the end of the summer, there was the Watkins Glen IndyCar race, which, of course, is now officially the final IndyCar race at Watkins Glen. Unfortunately, makes me quite sad for several reasons, but not the least of which was the fact that I really enjoyed that race. It was always a great time with friends and family to go to that one, so unfortunate that that's no longer an option. But moving on to nicer things, I have to say that experiencing the NASCAR K&N Series for the first time this year, I went to New Jersey Motorsports Park, a road course race, and then later I went to Dover in conjunction with the Nationwide Series and, of course, the Sprint Cup, or the Monster Energy Cup, but I didn't actually get to see the Monster Energy Cup race. K&N, I cannot give high enough marks to the K&N Series as a whole. Just fantastic diversity of the equipment, fantastic racing. I was not bored at all at either race. No stages, no playoffs. It's pretty much everything you could want from stock car racing. So I could only say that if you have any interest, go check out a K&N race. And then we talk about the gaming. Obviously, that was a big year. This was a big year, I should say, for gaming. The NASCAR videos, as always, had a big following. NASCAR 15 was a big series this year. NASCAR Heat Evolution. I finished that. I won the championship in that series, and now I never have to play that game again, which is good. And then, of course, the launch of NASCAR Heat 2 was pretty big. I actually, through that, was able to get in contact finally with a person from 704 Games, Sean Wilson. We follow each other on Twitter. I'm hoping there will be some collaboration in the future between myself and 704 Games, so we'll see how that goes. Obviously, it depends on lining up schedules and whatnot, but I'm hoping to get something done there. But obviously, the response to NASCAR Heat 2 has been fantastic. I can't wait to get over or get the Xfinity Series done, the Cup Series aspect of that. It just seems like when I do a hot seat, it'll get like 6,000 views versus like the 4,000 views of the Xfinity Series races. So clearly everybody's into the Cup Series, and hopefully I'll be there very soon. But I was very impressed and happy and surprised that the success of the Project Cars videos was as high as it was. I actually got Project Cars 1 at GameStop for $1 when I signed up for their pro rewards or whatever. I brought it home and I'm like, wow, this is a great game. I'm surprised that there wasn't as much content out there about it. So I was like, I'm going to do some videos. And it was weird. It was like the first video was about Le Mans, and then the second video was IndyCar, and they were getting tons of views. And then obviously when Project Cars 2 came out in September, those videos also got a ton of views. So I'm very happy to say that there are racing fans out here on YouTube that, you know, don't just want to see NASCAR, and I'm happy to see. Hopefully we'll be able to expand the diversity of the channel. Just keep it more as a racing thing than just one specific segment of racing. That's kind of what I want this channel to grow into, is a racing channel, not so much a NASCAR channel. And then obviously we've got IndyCar Series 2005 and Indy 500 Evolution. Those will be continuing. Don't worry, they're not canceled, they're not done. And there's a few other games I want to check out, particularly a World of Outlaws game for the Xbox 360. Just FYI, I haven't bought it yet, but that's something I'm looking at. And I'm absolutely 120,000% continuing Project Cars, because that seems to be very popular. And then just lastly, Diecast. Interesting year for Diecast. Going forward with Diecast videos, I want to show variety over just keeping it as the same old stuff. I want to show off interesting things. I want to show off different things. And I want to keep the Diecast videos fresh and interesting. I tried to improve the quality of the reviews this year by switching the studio up from the classic pit lane looking kind of thing to a white studio background. I'm hoping to actually improve that as well this year. I think I'm going to invest in getting a light box at some point to make that look, or make the reviews look just that little tiny bit better, because again, it definitely seems like the theme of this year is improving quality, definitely improves viewership, and improves this channel. So that will do it for my year in review. I hope you have enjoyed the content I've produced in the year 2017, and I hope you're looking forward to 2018, because I've got some big plans, some big videos that I didn't even touch on in this video that I'm going to be doing, and I think you'll really enjoy them. And you never know, a lot of these things that on this sheet of paper that I'm looking at this time last year, I hadn't even thought that I could do, or that they would be successful. So obviously 2018 is going to be a year full of surprises, and again, thank you guys for supporting the channel this year, and again, I hope to provide that same excitement in 2018 and even make it bigger and better. So thank you guys so much for watching. This has been David Land on YouTube, and we will see you in 2018.